Hey folks, welcome back to Highest Gear Reviews. I'm Lou Thomas and thank you so much for joining me again for another car review, or today a truck review. So today we have a 2022 Nissan Frontier I want to present to you. Hey, if you can do me a favor as well, if you haven't, please hit that subscribe button. Got a lot more vehicles coming up, and the more you guys subscribe, of course, the more vehicles I can get, because the dealers are like, oh wow, we'll give them another vehicle to subscribe to or review. So here we have it, okay, 22 Nissan Frontier. So if you guys are familiar with Nissan at all, Nissan, Datsun, same thing, just an older, Datsun's an older name for them. They've been in the truck game for a long time, and what a lot of people don't realize is it's actually been since about the 60s, really, they were in the truck business. So this one here is basically the replacement for the Nissan hard body from years ago, if you remember that in the 80s when we had like the mini truck seat and all that kind of stuff. Then it became the Frontier, and here we are 16 years later after the Frontier was first introduced with the new body style. And it was really needed. I mean, the old Frontier was just getting old, tired, and here we are with a new one. Looks great. So let's take a look at a few things here. So as you can see, pretty much everything is new on this truck. I mean, there's nothing related or similar really to the old Nissan Frontier. The front end looks great, if you want my opinion anyway. I mean, I really like the way it looks, kind of this like real powerful looking stance, sturdy looking, just tough looking. I think it looks pretty cool in this color red. If I was going to get this, though, I think I'd kind of do that like tan kind of color, the military type theme. I think that would look badass just with the tan and the black accessories and everything. But I mean, everything's new on it. I mean, the whole front end, I mean, the whole truck is brand new. It's kind of got this embossed Frontier logo up here as well. Nice big Nissan emblem on there. Really cool lights, fog lights, everything. The black trim looks great. Just a sharp looking truck in my opinion. Of course, this one here is the crew cab version, so the 4-door version. You can get a 2-door as well. This one also has a short bed. You can get a long bed as well. So some stats on this particular vehicle. All of these trucks use the same engine now. So it's a V6, direct injection, aluminum cylinder, aluminum heads, all that kind of stuff. 310 horsepower, about 281 foot-pounds of torque. You can get them in 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, kind of whatever combination you want. This one here is the SV package, which is kind of a more value-priced package, but it pretty much has everything you really need. You can also get one called the Pro 4X, which has beefier suspension, kind of like a locking rear differential, all that kind of stuff, and some pretty cool stuff for your off-roading needs. So like I said, this one's the crew cab. It's a good truck. Nice family truck, great work truck. I mean, it pretty much does everything you need, really. Towing capacity on it, not too bad, about 6,700 pounds. Payload capacity is going to be about 1,600 pounds of stuff that you can put in the back. As far as fuel mileage, not great. About 17 to 22 for the 4-wheel drive one. You can add a couple more miles per gallon if you get the 2-wheel drive one. But don't forget, these Nissan engines, these V6s, if you're not familiar with them, they're kind of legendary. They're probably one of the best V6 engines in the market. Just a very, very good engine. As far as warranties go, so you can get this one with comes on the factory with a 3-year, 36,000 mile limited type warranty. Powertrain comes with a 5-year, 60,000 mile warranty as well. There's no kind of service agreement or anything like that, or concierge service or anything like that, so you'll just have to kind of do that on your own. As far as tires on it, this one's, like I said, kind of a basic one. So tires on this particular one are going to be 265s, and they're going to be about a 65 ratio and 17-inch rims on it as well. And they're a good tire. Michelin tire comes with a nice tire as well. The Nissans have kind of the spray-in bed liner as well on the back, so that's kind of nice. Nice body lines on it. Like I said, I think it looks like a really rugged, kind of cool-looking truck. The bed of it is actually kind of low, so you can actually get into it pretty easily, but there's still, I mean, high enough to get everything, but you can reach in really easily. It's got some nice tie-down hooks back there as well. So, I mean, just a good-looking truck. Everything, like I said, everything and it's different. So everything about this truck has changed. On the rear tailgate, we'll show you later, but it kind of has that embossed Frontier logo back there as well, so it looks really good. As far as pricing goes, well, they run the gamut, right? This particular one, the SV 4-wheel drive, like I said, only goes with one engine, right? The V6 engine. This one's going to run you around 31,000, 32,000 for this particular one. You can go all the way up to the Pro 4X. That one's going to run you around 38,000 to 39,000, somewhere around there. As far as performance goes, it's adequate. The engine puts out, like I said, about 310 horsepower. 0 to 60 is going to be right around 7 seconds. So here we have it, the 2022 Nissan Frontier. So let's take a closer look. All right, let's take a look at the seating position for the Nissan. So good step up height. You can get it with a running board as well if you want, of course. Hop on in. Driving position feels pretty good. So seats are firm but comfortable. These are those zero gravity seats, and Nissan kind of does a lot of work with NASA actually in regards to these seats. So this is a variant of that gravity seat, and feels pretty good. Like I said, firm but feels good. Bolstering feels good. It's not too tight on me or anything like that. There is a large cup holder over here, a bottle holder, I guess you could call it. Another area for storing your stuff as well. Standard stuff, power windows, power mirrors, all that kind of stuff. One of the ones that was kind of a surprise is the it doesn't really go as low down as I thought it would go as far as the seat adjustability. It is an adjustable seat on the driver's side. That's all good. No lumbar support, which is kind of surprising, but it does feel good. So I think the actual way they have it from the factory feels pretty nice. Steering wheel feels good. Good size steering wheel. It's kind of got the fake leather wrap on and all that kind of stuff. Does have the tilt up and down, just pull the lever here. Doesn't have telescoping though, so that's kind of a surprise. I figured in this segment, and for what you're paying for these things now, I figured it would have kind of that, telescoping steering wheel. But anyway, stems look nice. Has tow mode on it, cargo lamp stuff, all that kind of stuff, downhill assist. Does have some different power things as well. Looks like it's got a 120 volt power supply somewhere in here. Push button start. As far as headroom goes, really good. Like I said, I'm 6'4", no problem as far as headroom. I've got at least 3 inches up there, and visibility looks good. So yeah, so far not too bad. Like I said, I do wish I had that telescoping steering wheel. That's kind of weird, and why they don't put the lumbar support in as well. But hey, maybe I don't think the upper packages have the telescoping, but I think you can get the lumbar support maybe in the other packages, the upgrades. So let's take a look at what it's like behind the wheel. Well, let's take a look at the interior of the Nissan Frontier. So let me go and start her up. It does have the push button start. Also has the remote start on the key fob. So we'll start her up. And sounds real nice. I mean, not much engine noise as far as engine noise. Has kind of the cool starting graphics in the center console. As far as, like I said, steering position feels pretty darn good. Like I said, wish it telescope, but hey, that's where it goes, right? It does have some nice buttons on the steering wheel. They do look a little, I hate to say this, but they look a little bit kind of dated. I kind of remember these from like the 350Zs and the 370Zs maybe, but anyway, so it does have a good assortment though. I mean, you got your stereo control, obviously cruise control. This one has the adjustable cruise control, basically, where it keeps the distance between you and the car ahead of you as well. You can give them the lane departure warning, all that kind of stuff. This one has the backup assist as far as warnings and the backing up and all that kind of jazz. Nice stems, the kind of the big chunky stems that Nissan seems to use on everything. Feels real good. Steering wheel feels pretty nice. I like the size of it. It's a little bit thinner than I kind of like. I prefer a thicker steering wheel, but that's okay. Not too much of this black piano finish, thank goodness. And what it does, of course, shows dust, like I always say, just shows dust almost immediately. Does have your four-wheel drive controls here, 4x4, and 4-low, that kind of stuff. This one doesn't have the locking rear diff. Like I said, you can get that on the other models, but this particular one doesn't have it. Dual zone climate control, so that's kind of nice as far as keeping everyone nice and comfy in the vehicle. Little USB compact, regular USB input as well. You can turn off your parking assist, obviously, there, and a couple of accessory buttons for the upper models. Shifter, kind of cheesy feeling, to tell you the truth. I mean, if I'm going to be honest with you, it feels a little bit kind of cheesy. But anyway, there it is. It does have the mode where you can kind of go down into drive and then over to the manual shifting mode and then use that. But I don't know if anyone ever uses that. But there's our shifter. And like I said, it feels just a little bit sloppy, but that's the way it goes. Has the dual cup holder here, so nothing spectacular there, just a regular cup holder. Obviously a big section down here where you can store some gear. Another little spot here. Pretty good size, kind of a center console. Has the padded kind of leatherette feel, I guess you would call it, in this particular one. And nothing much going on as far as the rear view mirror, just a very basic one. As far as the instrumentation goes, though, it does have nice crisp instrumentation, kind of analog gauges on it. Has that center information console as well. The infotainment system, no real gripes about it. I mean, it seems to, do everything that you need. I mean, sounded real nice when I was driving it around. Relatively responsive. Has the all the features that you need as far as your, Bluetooth, Android, Apple Play, all that kind of stuff. Screen seems relatively responsive, so I mean, seems to be pretty much on par with what everyone's putting in nowadays, to tell you the truth. Of course, you do have your auxiliary power input there for your radar detector, GPS, whatever you want to hook in here. Like I said, the seats feel really nice. I mean, pretty darn comfortable. I mean, like I said, I wish it had that lumbar support. That's kind of strange that they missed that, though. Glove box, standard, has room there. It does have a tray up here as well where you can put some stuff. Maybe throw your cell phone up there and have it cook in the sun all day and, go buy a new cell phone after that day. But otherwise, no, pretty darn good. I mean, it's utilitarian, but it's nicely done. And it is so much better than the old Frontier. It's almost ridiculous. So let's take a look at some more stuff. All right, folks, so here we go. The question everyone seems to ask, do I fit in the back of the Nissan Frontier? I'm not going to lie, it looks a little bit tight. So the seat is adjusted to where I would normally put it. Like I said, I'm about 6'4", about 270 pounds, whatever. But anyway, it's about 6'4", so let's see. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I'm actually kind of surprised how cramped it is back here. So that's a lot more cramped than I thought it was going to be. I'm going to be honest with you. The seat, like I said, this is adjusted where I would put it. This is a 6'4" driver, 6'4" passenger, which hopefully you don't have too many 6'4" passengers, but you may if you're in like a little construction company or some kind of business where you're traveling around with your workers. This is not going to be a comfortable place to be, I must say. Leg room, very limited. My leg is right here at the B pillar. Let's see, I mean, there's nothing you can really do about it. I'm thinking if I close the door, it's just going to be, it's going to hit my knee. Let's see. All right. Yeah, I can't close the door. No, I literally almost cannot close the door because it pinches my knee so tight into the seat. So that's a bummer, but on the good side of things, let's see. So it does have the two power outlets back here, a USB and a USB micro. There's also a 110 volt back here as well, which is kind of nice, like, regular US plug. So that's kind of nice. It does have a cup holder, has a couple of drink holders in the cup holder and some document kind of pockets here as well. But yeah, that's kind of disappointing because I actually really do like this truck. But I would not want to be riding in the back of this truck at my height. So that is something to consider, right? Oh, let's see if we can get out of here. So as far as rear tailgate entry to the Nissan, they did a good job on this as well. I'll show you in just a second. Like I said, it has this nice kind of embossed Frontier logo here, the nice new big Nissan logo, kind of crisped up a little bit there. It does have your rear view camera, obviously. It's lockable as well. Tow hitch comes standard with it. This one has the rear collision warning as far as your bumper parking type deal. Nicely done tail lights. I mean, everything looks really sharp on it. Open it up. Kind of nice. So it has kind of the hydraulic assist going down. Like I said, all the Frontiers are going to come with a bed liner in them as well. So this is a spray-in part here, and this is kind of like a plastic liner that goes on here. Has your little cup holders here, so when you're sitting here, you can put your drink right here as well, have a little beverage. It does have lights in the back of the tailgate as well. Has good selection of tie-down hooks on here as well. I think it's about 4 or so, and a good-sized bed. Of course, does have that sliding rear window as well. And another nice feature is when you bring it back up again, it feels really light. So it's got like kind of a spring assist in here as well. And boom, there we go. So nicely done on the rear end. So as far as the engine in the Nissan, let's take a look. It's kind of nice. Got the hood struts on it, or the gas kind of charged lifters on there. It doesn't actually go up as high as I thought it would go, but maybe when you just disconnect those if you had to get under here. But hey, no problem. So like I said, 310 horsepower, V6, aluminum block, aluminum cylinder heads, direct injection. So gets the job done pretty well. Like I said, very smooth engine. If you're not familiar with Nissans, I think they make one of the best V6 engines. They've been using them for years in vehicles like the GTRs, all that kind of stuff, and the Nissan Altimas. But this one is a new, completely new engine, basically, for the 2022 Frontier. So great engine. I do kind of like this setup here. This looks like it's going to be really easy to add a new intake for a more powerful intake if you want to later on down the road. But so there it is, V6, 310 horsepower, a little bit over, 280 foot-pounds of torque. Let's take a look at the rest of it. So there we are in the Nissan Frontier. Let's take her for a lap around. So we're in Adams County, Colorado at the moment, over by the golf course here. And as far as drivability goes, it's really actually a nice driving truck. Suspension feels taut, I guess you'd call it. It's like, a tight feeling suspension, but feels very stable, really kind of confidence inspiring. There's very little road noise that comes through the into the cab of the vehicle. Hardly any wind noise when we're on the highway either, and feels nice. I mean, like I said, the seats feel really good. Like I said, these are those zero gravity seats. Steering response feels pretty darn good. Like I said, it feels just real stable. Feels, in a way, it kind of feels chunky, kind of, and just feels really nicely built. As far as the acceleration goes, it's I guess I'd call it feels a little bit lazy, to tell you the truth. The engine feels a little bit lazy. It's very smooth though, but it's just that kind of punch out of the pocket. It's just maybe it's a little geared a little bit, a little bit too high, I guess, as far as more for highway type gearing. But no, it feels, I mean, it's adequate. Don't get me wrong, it's adequate, but not quite as snappy as I thought it would be, and just a little bit kind of lazy feeling in the engine. As far as engine noise goes as well, it's really, I hate to say it, but it's a very boring sounding engine in the cabin of the vehicle. So maybe if I was you, I'd kind of put like, kind of nicer performance based exhaust or something on it. But overall, no, it feels nice. I mean, like I said, very comfortable to drive. I mean, no real complaints. Visibility looks real good. Everything's easy to get to. Displays are nice and crisp. And as far as a driver's position, they did a good job. All right, so let's take it on a bit of a faster acting road here. So give it the beans. So like I said, it's just wish it had a little bit more punch to it, but the transmission is very smooth. A little bit of noise as you can hear in the cab, but not too bad. And like I said, it's not the most exciting noise, but steering, like I said, and suspension feels taut, but feels good. So, I mean, we're plopping along at like 60 miles per hour now. Feels pretty comfortable, and I think this will be a nice place to be for quite a while. So there it is, folks, the 2022 Nissan Frontier. So, like I said, overall nice truck, has some really good things going for it. It is in a tough segment. I mean, we're talking the Toyota Tacoma, the new Ford Ranger, the Chevy Colorado, and all that kind of stuff. So it's got a big mountain to climb up as well. But like I said, I really like the styling. I think it's one of the best looking, rugged looking kind of looks of the new trucks. Just a sharp looking truck. Awesome engine. Has that 9-speed transmission as well. Lots of power. Smooth feeling, just drives really nicely, good cargo capacity. Just a few things that they missed, which unfortunately, like I said, that rear seat room, that kind of stuff, and some deals with the steering as far as just that telescoping steering wheel I wish it had. But overall, nice vehicle. If you're looking for a truck, definitely consider the Nissan Frontier, all new. Basically took 16 years for them to get to this new point with the Frontier, but I think they did a really good job. So like I said, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. A lot more vehicles coming up. And once again, thank you so much. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Take care and drive safe, okay? Take care.